Hi everyone, it's Sarah, and today I have with me my daughter Malia. Malia, how old are you again?
3.
And as you know, our stay-at-home order has been extended for another month. And I don't know about you, but when I heard that, it made me really sad. I started to think about what that meant for small businesses or the kids at the end of the school year, graduates, and those who are trying to plan graduation and graduation parties, or even people who are trying to plan a wedding, and just how different that's all going to be this year. But the one that hit me the most was thinking about mothers who will be celebrating Mother's Day this year quarantined, and it just made me really sad. And so as I prayed and thought about what I wanted to speak on today, I was brought to the book of John in the Bible and chapter 11. And this is the story of one of Jesus's friends named Lazarus, and he has died. And so did you know that? Lazarus died. He was Jesus's friend. And when Jesus hears that Lazarus has died, it takes him a couple of days to start to travel to visit Mary and Martha, who are Lazarus's sisters and also Jesus's friends. And so when Jesus finally gets to Mary and Martha's home, there's a group of people, of Jews, who have also are also with Mary and Martha and are grieving and are sad with them, just thinking about Lazarus and his life and that he is now gone. So when Jesus gets to Mary and Martha, he asks to be taken to where Lazarus has been buried. And when he gets there, Mary and Martha are taken there, and the Jews all follow him, and Jesus sees the grief and the sadness of the people. And in John chapter 11, verse 35, it says that Jesus wept. He cried seeing the people hurting, seeing the people in pain and sad. And I just wanted to encourage you with that Jesus sees your tears. He hears your cries, even if you don't actually have words with your crying. He understands completely. In 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 7, it says, "Cast all your anxieties onto him because he cares for you." So I just want to encourage you today that in your sadness, that Jesus understands. He cares. He hears you. He sees you. He wept for a group of people who were in sadness and sorrow. And so I just want you to think about that, ponder that, and just really take it to heart that he cares and understands. But then also with that good news, there's even more good news, because in Lazarus's story, that's not the end. Lazarus doesn't stay dead. When Mary and Martha have taken Jesus to where Lazarus is buried, he sees the pain of the people, and he's moved again, and he says, and he calls to Lazarus to come out of the tomb, and Lazarus comes out of the tomb. So amongst the sorrow and the sadness, a miracle happens where Lazarus is risen from the dead. And so I want to encourage you also that amongst your sadness, I want you to look around and see that there are good things that are happening. So the other day, my family sat down for supper, and we grabbed a piece of paper and a marker, and we came up with a list of things that we have been seeing in our lives or in the community that has been glorifying God, or that has been good, that has come out of something so icky. And so I wanted to encourage you to do the same with your family. Grab a piece of paper and a pen and have the talk with your family about what are you seeing in your life or in your community that's happening, that's good, that God is being glorified in, or that is just something positive positive that's happening out of this quarantine. And so we took our list when we were done with it and we hung it up on our fridge so that we could see it every day. I hope to add to it as we see more things happening, and I encourage you to do the same. I encourage you to put your list up once you've done with it in an area where you're going to be able to see it every day, and it's going to be a reminder of all of the good that is also happening amongst all of the sadness and of the staying at home. And so I want to encourage you today and to remind you that in your sadness, that Jesus sees your tears. He hears your cries. He understands because he was sad. And he gets it. He was human. He sees you in your sadness and in your trouble. But that I know that God is being glorified in this. And I cannot wait until we can be back together. And that we can share these stories with each other of things that has been positive or that God has been doing amongst this. And so I just encourage you to know that God sees you in your sadness, but that at the same time miracles are happening, lives are changing, and God is still being glorified. And so I pray that you have a good rest of your week, and I will see you again next Thursday.